In this video, I will show you how you can create and spawn some object, or for example, in this case, health item around our player on a circle with a random location. Let's see how we can do that. For doing that, we need a blueprint that can spawn the enemies and meteors and some pickups items, right? So let's just go to content, go to blueprint, and in here I want to create a new folder and I want to call it misc or miscellaneous, right? Double click on it to open it, right click in here and create a blueprint class of type of actor. We want to call it BP spawn manager, right? And with that done, we want to put it inside our level. That's it. The positioning of it doesn't matter. Nothing matters with this. Just put it on our level wherever you want, right? That's it. No, double click on it to open it. And in here, we don't want to add anything to its component. We want to just go to event graph, right? In event graph, we will decide what to spawn, when to spawn it, and where to spawn it, right? Because I want it to be organized and I want you to understand everything. We will go step by step. The first step is to create a function to spawn something, right? So in here, I will create a function. I will call it spawn. That's it. It can spawn whatever you put as input of it. So we will add an input and the type of it, we want it to be actor. So we can pass whatever we want there. And it should be class refers because we want to spawn it. And I want to call it class. The class to spawn. Next thing, I want to create a input and I wanted to make it boolean. Why? Because some of the things that we spawn with this function, we need to kill to be able to go to the next wave or next level, right? But some of the things that we spawn, like pickup items, if you don't pick it up, it doesn't matter. That's why I will create this boolean and I will call it wave enemy. So if this wave enemy is true, it means it is important to be destroyed so you can go to the next level. With that done, we can use a spawn actor from a class, right? The class that we want to spawn is this one. Easy, right? For a spawn transform, we wanted to spawn it around our player. So it's not very close to our player and it's not really far away from the player. It should be at a distance from the player, right? So this spawn distance is really important and I want to create a variable for it. I will call it a spawn distance, right? And the type of it, we want it to be float. Now let's see how we can use it. We go to paint in here, I will explain it to you. Let's say this is our player location in our level, right? Now we want to spawn health or enemy around our player on a random location, right? First thing that we need a spawn distance. So we should decide how many centimeter it should be away from our player. For example, on this circle, let me create a circle over here. So from our player to this red circle is our spawn distance, right? We don't want it to spawn our player or health bar close to our player or really far away from our player. We want to spawn it on a circle, right? We want to pick some random location around this circle. How we can do that? We can create a random direction from our player to this circle, like this. For example, let's say this is our random direction. So with this random direction, multiply by the spawn distance added to the location of our player, it will give us a location on the circle. And now we want to do that. So for doing that, there is a node that is called random unit vector. It will give us random vector with a length of 1 because these random unit vector have x, y, and z. That's why we want to make it to a 2D vector. And for making it to a random unit vector in 2D space, we have a node that is called normalize 2D. This one in vector 2D category, not this normalized 2D vector, this bottom one, right? Just choose that. On its input, we can just connect these two here, right? It will automatically convert it from a vector to vector 2D, right? So this will give us a random direction, and we can multiply it by our spawn distance, right? And now if we add it to the location of our player, it will create that random dots on a circle around our player location. So we need access to the player. For doing that, I want to go to begin play, and in here, get the player pawn, right? You want to cast this to BP player like this. And we want to promote these to the player, BP player, right? That's it. Now we have access to our player always. So in here we get our BP player and we can get the actual location off of it. And now we can add these two together. So we create some random location on a circle around the location of our player. We can add these two together. So add like this. You can hold Control to grab this line and connect it to this one. And for this pin, we want to right click on it, split stroke pin, and right click on this one, split stroke pin, because we are using X and Z location for our 2D game. That's why we need to connect the X to X and Y to Z, right? It is really important because we don't want to have a location, random location around our player in Y direction, because we are creating a 2D game and Y direction doesn't exist in our game. We are just using X and Z. No, we can use this location for a spawn transform of our spawn actor. So right click in here, split stroke pin, and connect this vector, output vector, to this spawn transform location. That's it. Let's just test it. For testing it, I want to go to event graph, and in here I want to use a timer. So let's just use set timer by event, right? For now, let's just put it on 1 second. And we want to create a custom event. So search for custom event, spawn test, right? This is just for testing. And with that, we want to use our spawn function. Just put it there. The class that we want to create, we can decide it over here. For example, one of the items, for example, health, right? BP health. And because the BP health is not important and it's not a wave enemy, we don't check this. Of course, it's not doing anything right now, so leave it empty. Now with that done, 1 second I think is too much. Let's just put it on 0.1. And now, next thing that you want to do, we want to make this on loop as well. Next thing that you want to do, we want to change the spawn distance to some value, because it shouldn't be 0, right? So put it on 500, and with that done, hit compile. Now if you go to a level, and now if I hit F8 in here and go back a little bit, you can see there is a circle that we are creating some BP health around the location of our player. Let's just play a little bit done. And you can see if I go forward like this and hit F8, again it's creating it on a circle. These ones that you see, because we did move and it did create it around us, right? But you can see it is spawning it on a circle around our player location, so our player can find it, right?